What up? Your favorite Honda fanboy is back with another Honda Acty video. So this one is a bit different. I didn't even know this truck existed. As someone that's been to countless auctions, been to Japan, is always up on the forums and just learning about K-trucks, for some reason I didn't know that there was an 8-speed Honda Acty. So for anybody wondering, this is a 1999 Honda Acty Attack. So the Attack is very popular in the previous generation because it came with ultra low and ultra reverse. And the easiest way to point out an Attack from a normal Honda Acty was this ring around the shifter. So this allows you to go into ultra low and then ultra reverse. Whenever you saw this ring here, you knew it was a bit different. When it comes to buying a K-truck, you have several different factors that you want to think about before purchasing one. For example, if you get a Honda Acty, you can either get full-time 2-wheel drive or full-time 4-wheel drive. These do not have a very popular option like the Daihatsu Hijet, for example. So this one in front of us is full-time rear-wheel drive unless you press this button. Now you're in 4-wheel drive, and to make it even better, it also has Diff Lock. So there's no Diff Lock in the Actys. That didn't exist. Another very popular truck, the Subaru Sandbar. Again, this one is full-time rear-wheel drive unless you press this button. Now you get into full-time 4-wheel drive. Same goes for Mitsubishi, same goes for Suzuki, but for some reason Honda was either like, no, you're only getting 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. There is certain models where you can switch it over. If you go over here, if you know, you know, click the corner right now to learn more about that. But there's a pin here where you can adjust it. And if you have a 4-wheel drive model, you can change it to 2-wheel drive and then go back and forth. So when Honda introduced the Attack, it became quickly popular because now everybody who loves the good old Honda, the reliability, you guys know how popular this H is. Let's say you drive a lot in the sand, the snow, the dirt, you live in a farm. You now have that option for that extra gear, that ultra low to get up the hill, that ultra reverse to get you out of a ditch. And as much as everybody loved the ultra low and ultra reverse, unfortunately the previous generations only came with a 4-speed manual transmission. So for everybody who plans on doing some daily driving, you want to get on the freeway, anyone who really plans on doing some long distance driving, even if that's just 10 miles, because it was only a 4-speed transmission, your top speed was capped around like 40 to 50 to 55 miles per hour tops. You lost that additional 5th gear to get on the highway. That's why when I first got to JDM Hawaii and I was just walking around, I was like, oh, okay, another Honda Acty. No. This is a one of few. I don't know how easy it is to find one of these, but you ask anybody, if you're watching this video right now and you have an Attack, ask anyone, do you wish you had that 5th gear? And everyone's going to say yes. So Honda used their big brain with this one. That's why I call it an 8-speed transmission. Obviously, it's not an 8-speed transmission. Before anyone comments anything, we know it doesn't have 8 forward gears. But the fact that they did this with this model is such a huge W. So with all the gear, transmission, ultra this, ultra that talk out the way, let's talk about the truck in front of us. We got some brand new tires. They painted the Steely's black. Slater was telling me that actually, which is not very Japanese of them, but they wanted to change, I believe, the fuel pump, and they cut this. That's why there's a hole there. There was something they needed to change, and instead of, I guess, moving the engine or coming from below, they literally cut the bed and then put it back together. Speechless. I don't even know what to think that someone went to that extreme instead of just moving some things around. Speaking of moving some things around, that's always been one of my cons when it comes to these Hondas. I am not the biggest supporter of the engine being back here. I've worked on countless, I've done so many builds on the channel, and it has some pros. You know, you could access a couple things, but it also has some cons. I know the people who love Hondas are going to say, oh yeah, it's so easy to work on. I've heard it all before. It's also those same people who say, oh, you drive a Hijet, Mitsubishi, or Suzuki, you get heated seats all year round. Not really. Same with the Sandbar guys. Oh yeah, it's much easier to do everything back here. These have some cons too. But this truck is in overall pretty good condition. Interior is mint. I actually want to drive to the repair shop to compare some of the older Hondas. I think they have some that might be crashed. And then to show you the interior difference. Like, they did a really good job with this one. By far my favorite thing on some of the models is this right here. I think this is an unsung hero when it comes to K-cars. You might not even know what I'm talking about right now, but the ability to slide in like this is very underrated. I can just put my foot and I can slide. I can't do that with some of the other models. Look at the Hijet. It's more of a hop. You see? Can I do this? Sure. I extend my leg fully and slide, but even then it's not as comfortable as the newer one. So this little hump, something you don't even think about. I believe the Hijet doesn't have it. I think the Suzuki, yeah, you see, again, you can't really just slide. This is a 99, but you're not able to do it. Suzuki, though, although this is a van, they did a good job with this one. You see? Nice little slide. You're easily able to get inside and out. It isn't as difficult like the other models. Here's a look at the interior. Standard glove box, radio, 2 cup holders, which is nice on that on the newer models. Almost all of them have cup holders. You still have your space under here. You can fit a sub or whatever creativity you want to get. This one actually has Honda floor mats that are in great condition. It actually only has, what is it, 62 or 3? 63,000 kilometers. We can start it up. AC blows cold, which is a major W if you're here in Hawaii. This one, I believe, also got fully serviced. Head over to the JDM Hawaii website to learn some more information on this guy. So right now what we're going to do is drive to the repair shop. I know they have a couple Honda Acty trucks back there, and I want to make sure we can just compare the interior, because right now, I'll show you guys on this camera, I am not lacking for space even in the slightest. My knees are nowhere close. Now we're going to work our way to the highway. I am currently in 4th gear. I don't sound like I'm too high on the RPMs just yet, but I'll go into 5th. Let me go to 62 miles per hour real quick. And just like that, we're doing 60. There's no RPMs, but I can tell you I'm about 3/5 where red line needs to be. I can even go faster. Mind you, this is also uphill. I can go to 110. I don't know about 140. I think that might be pushing it. I'm definitely going to need some wind behind me in a long hill, but even just like this, 5th gear, 70 kilometers an hour. Now, if I was only in a 4-speed, I just downshift to 4th. I don't know if struggle is the right word to use, but it's just you can't hear much engine noise because the engine's in the back. But I'm telling you, I'm high on the RPMs right now at 80. Like, this is pushing it. Like, right now at 90, I'm very high on the RPMs. Like, I wouldn't want to rest around there for a long period of time. And that isn't even too fast. I'm curious what happens if I just go into, like, ultra low normally and make this turn. Let's see. Is it just, like, a really short gear? Oh, yeah. I'm already, like, at red line. And I'm just not even registering on here. Yeah. That's definitely not for the road. But we're going to compare some Actys. I know they're... Oh, look, there's one right here. Perfect. But here's what your standard previous to 1999 Acty interior looked like. Traditional door cards. No tack, no clock. Seats are blah, no cup holders. That's what the normal shifter looks like without the attack. Glove box usually broken. AC vents and everything there, nothing digital, and you know, essentially just boring. And then this is what a town looks like. So you see the tack is there, clock. The seats are different. Instead of them being like that fake faux leather, it's more of this nice stitch. You could see some of the colors, like the orange, red, blue, purple. The town to the top. This is like the top tier if you're gonna get a Honda Acty. This one actually also is a dump, which is pretty interesting. Update, so we're back on the freeway. Let me cut this AC off and do a top speed run right now. Let me downshift to 4th actually, so I get some extra ponies. Yeah, I think unfortunately I'm gonna run out of space, but I'm gonna get back to 62. Yeah, I'm just gonna run out of space. But it can do it. It can definitely do 70 miles per hour, quote unquote, comfortably. But now we're gonna go to Sandy's Beach. I wanna see if there's any sand there. And I wanna go into like ultra low and ultra reverse. Although I think even just normal 4-wheel drive, the truck is so light, you'll be able to drive over it with no problem. I don't know any like trails or anything where I can actually test it with like mud or sand and I don't think I'm gonna get stuck, but I want to drive over there and see if we could just get some more shots. Hey, so I found some sand. So I'm gonna stay in first gear, and I don't think I'm gonna have any issues at any point, but we do have the ability to go into ultra low or ultra reverse if worse comes to worse. So what's doing all of this perfectly fine, like I said, I need like some thick mud or something where the ultra low and ultra reverse would actually make a difference, but I'll get in here and put it in there just in case. Make sure everything still spins and works. We can go into ultra low. And it's almost like a crawling gear. I'm not even really giving it much gas. And I'm going over everything perfectly fine. Definitely works. And then just cause, let's try the ultra reverse. Yep. Almost little to no gas. And I'm able to move. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Me and Miss Husky in a couple months. Driving back to JDM Hawaii now. I just wanted to show you guys more of KOKO Head. So if we zoom in, we can actually see people. Look at that. Look how steep that is in that point. Wow. I'm gonna do it one day though. Maybe even more than once. I just gotta find a homie to do it with. And just like that, we made it back to JDM Hawaii. Got the Honda Acty Attack in the cut. I am now going to work my way to a Daihatsu. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm not going to tell you exactly which one it is. But today was fun. I learned a lot about the Honda Attack. Hopefully you did as well. And now before we end this video, can we please give it a like? I feel like all my videos get well over 200 views, but I don't get 200 likes. And I feel like if you're watching this video right now, I'm going to be the first one to say it. You might be a hater. Leave a like. It takes a second. Subscribe to the channel. Road to 50K. Road to 100K. We're going to Japan soon. I'll be back in New York. Hopefully we get some type of update when it comes to insurance. But thank you guys for watching. Peace.
Remember the name.